Hey, everybody. This is a special episode of The Growth Engineers, okay? And, so often we get together, and Dean and I, we have a great time sharing with you, business owners who are looking to grow, how to engineer that growth. And we teach you techniques and strategies that have been around for a very, very long time that are based in principles and really, really solid. We'll never change that. But today, we're taking a special moment because AI has changed a ton. And Dean has figured something out that he's going to share with us. And listen, I'm going to be taking as much notes as y'all. So let's jump in. Dean, we're talking LinkedIn and AI. And so this is for all of y'all business owners who are looking to fill your funnel. And your ideal customers on LinkedIn, and you got to reach them on LinkedIn. You got to use that thing called Sales Navigator. Dean, what are you doing, man? I'm just turning it over to you and say, hey, teach us, oh wise guru Dean.
I am happy to share a couple of pearls of wisdom here today, Atiba. This is fun because this is connecting this gold mine. Well, we're always told, right? B2B, you got to be on LinkedIn. You got to go. And when you're on LinkedIn, what happens? You get bombarded by generic connect and pitch,
Yes.
right? Who loves that? Nobody. Is it working
Nobody.
for anybody? It's not. But yet, very few people have figured out how to really utilize that platform in a way that's productive both for you and your audience, right? So we've put together a sort of 5-step process to utilize AI to get better at LinkedIn, right? To actually build relationships with people that care about the things you do and to get some results. Engineer that process in a way that you're not just ticking off the whole world and they're like, no. So it all starts with what we talk about almost every episode, right? ICP, ideal client profile, right?
Absolutely.
You got to know who the heck you're selling your stuff to, and you got to know it in a way that you can leverage that information. So, Sales Navigator, right? Powerful, powerful tool. Paid,
Overwhelming.
overwhelming tool. Paid premium tool. You're spending money every month. Most people aren't using it well. So, what do? They're told to go in and create a custom search to find people that fit their ideal client profile. So they open the tool up and they start clicking on stuff, and it's company and size and industry, and they're just taking a wild ass guess.
Yep.
That's all it is. It's a wag. So let me give you the first nugget for today using ChatGPT. So we've talked in other episodes about training ChatGPT, giving it detailed prompts and
Yep.
specific requests. So I sat down with a client last week, and she's kind of burned out with LinkedIn. She's like, I don't want to be on there, and it's not working for me. And I just, nah. Fast forward 20 minutes later, she was pumped about LinkedIn because I
Let's
showed her
go.
this.
I've got to hear this.
All right, all right. So I said, okay, could you find 3, maybe 5 profiles on LinkedIn of people that really do match your ideal client, right? Whether they're existing clients, whether they're prospects or people you've just run across. She said, yeah, probably. So we started with one of her clients, just one. If she said Atiba's my ideal client, if I could have 4 or 5 more Atibas, I would be a happy camper. So we pulled that person up, said, okay, who's next? So we found 4 or 5. We ended up finding 5 profiles. And we kind of looked at them. I'm like, yeah, they make sense. They all kind of fit. And we took that information. So there's a feature in LinkedIn where you can actually download somebody's profile in a PDF.
Hold on. Say that
So
again because I know most people don't know that.
yeah. So in LinkedIn, you click on somebody's profile, and under the little more button on their profile
Yeah.
page, click on that. There's an option that says save to PDF. So save it to a PDF. Save that profile to a PDF. And here's why that's way better than like clicking and dragging and copying, because you get all of the weird data, meta tags, and all this other garbage. When you save it to PDF, you have a clean text format. So what we did is we dropped a prompt into ChatGPT, and we explained who my client was. They're a consultant in this area working with these kinds of businesses, and we want to create a LinkedIn Sales Navigator search based on the following profiles. Okay. And we also included things like, define the common characteristics among these profiles,
Yeah.
define the unique differences between these profiles as well, because we want to eliminate some of those outliers. And then we literally
Yeah.
just pasted in the text of those 5 profiles. And so it knows what we want, who we're going after, and the information. We're training it with these profiles. And so the output that we requested was a detailed LinkedIn Sales Navigator search set of criteria. Boom. In 30 seconds, it gave us that profile.
Wow.
Okay.
Let me ask you this before we go on. So, because people are going to be confused, okay, because this is new and everything else. So, I've downloaded now 3 to 5 profiles. I've got these PDFs, right? Now, these PDFs, am I going into the PDF and copying all the text out of the PDF? Or am I only
Yes.
copying a piece of the text out of the PDF? How am I doing that?
If you can copy it all, that's fine. But sometimes some profiles are really long. At minimum, you want to get the about section and
Okay.
their experience section. Those are the key things. If there's a bunch of other stuff, they've got pin posts and a bunch of others, not too worried. But those are, at minimum, those are the 2 things, because the about describes who they are and what they do usually, right? And the experience talks about their role, their number of years in a particular role, the kind of businesses they're in. So that's the kind of information we need. If there's just other arbitrary stuff, I wouldn't worry about it. In this case, we just dumped it all in, man. We just dumped it all in. We let Chat GPT figure it out because it's got a
Sort it
big
out.
brain. It can do that.
Right. Right.
So don't overthink it. Because you can, again, in the prompt, we said identify the outliers, because we're not going to include those in the search. We're
Right.
trying to come up with a search that's going to find more of those profiles. That make sense?
Yes. Perfect.
Good.
Perfect.
So that was step 1. We hit go and the magic happened. 30 seconds later, we have this detailed Sales Navigator search criteria: roles, industries, experience, all of the things we need. And so what do? We created a new search in Sales Navigator, dropped all that information in, ran it in Sales Navigator to see the response we got, the results we got. And then we took 5 more profiles in the top 20 or 30 we looked at. We just skimmed through the top 20 or 30, and we found 5 more that we thought, all right, those are on target.
Yeah.
And then we asked ChatGPT to refine the search they provided before, the search criteria they provided before, to include these
This new
5 more
5.
profiles. And honestly, it didn't make a wholesale difference because it was already on target the first time around.
But now you know. But that's the key, though, is you're sure now.
Yep, exactly. We feel pretty good. So that got her excited because she'd been talking to people on LinkedIn for the last few months and getting nowhere. So she's like, okay, I'm excited. I know it's a relatively small list for her. It was less than 100 profiles. And in some worlds, that's too small. In her world, it's perfect. Perfect. She can handle that. So we got our list. Now, we said, all right, what are we going to do with this? What's next? So the next thing is we have to connect with these awesome individuals. And so we asked ChatGPT, what should our connection message be based on the profile, the needs, the experience, the industry, all the things? Keep the connection message to no more than 2 sentences and don't include a question. Because what happens when we get a LinkedIn connection request with a question? It feels salesy. Even if it's trying to be genuine, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't ask about your business and how you're doing it.
Yeah.
So it gave us this connection message. Now, we took it, we had tweaked it a little bit, and we started sending out connection requests. And she was getting a 25% request to connection response rate, which is double what she had before. So that's a huge success.
Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah. In 5 minutes of
So
work.
5 minutes of work. And she felt good. She felt good. And she felt engaged in that platform again. So then we took it to the next step,
There's more?
which was, okay, there's more, man. We've got 2 more steps for you. 2 more. So the next step was looking at her profile. Is her profile aligned with this ideal client profile? The things they care about, the things they want to buy. Because you and I both know, it's just like a landing page in your AdWords campaign. If you send some ad traffic to a generic landing page, they're going to bounce, man. They're going to bounce. So we want to make sure the profile as well. So we went through the same process. We reinforced the profile. We've retrained ChatGPT on the profile of the target audience.
Mm-hmm.
And we said, what are the key messages that my client's profile should include? And we described what her job is, what her role is, what her experience is. She's not
Wow.
HR. She's not finance. She's management consulting. And we described that. And so it came back with these key things that need to be included in her professional headline,
Profile.
in her about section, and her experience. And so we made some
Wow.
adjustments to her profile, all aligned, right? Because what happens when we get a connection request on LinkedIn, what do we all do?
We're going to check their
We look at the
profile.
profile. We look at the
Yeah.
profile. First thing we look at is a professional headline. The headline is that stretch of words right underneath somebody's name. And if that doesn't pass the sniff test, we move on.
We move on.
If you create curiosity, maybe we'll look at their profile and then we'll say yay or no. So we went through that process. That increased her connection request ratio again. And then the last thing we did was we said, okay, we're getting engagement, we're getting connections, profile's working. I'm supposed to be posting on LinkedIn too, right?
Yeah,
How
use the
does that
content now.
work? What am I
Yeah.
doing? And so we asked ChatGPT, what are the topics based on what she does and her ideal client profile? What are the topics she should be creating content around? Guess what it told us? Exactly the topics she needed to post on. And then we went down the whole content creation process, which you can check out in our prior Growth Engineers podcast. We talked about that. And so now she's got targeting dialed in, she's got messaging dialed in, she's got her profile
Yep.
dialed in,
Yep.
and she's got content dialed in.
Dialed in.
Now you know why she went from with LinkedIn to being pumped and excited. That was the
Oh,
process we went
absolutely.
through.
Absolutely. Man, that's phenomenal. Now, I got to ask, can we have a copy of that prompt?
Well, yeah, of course we can.
Almost had y'all there, didn't we? Of
There you
course,
go.
we're not going to
Yeah,
tell you all this and just leave you hanging. Come on. Come
right,
on.
exactly. Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
we'll
Yeah.
put a copy of the prompt in the description below, right? Or actually, we'll give you a link to it in the description below that you can go grab that prompt. But Dean, this is huge. Listen, I'm taking the raw cut of this and sending it off to my team to learn this process because we're going to be doing this next week as well. And so all of you out there, do this because, listen, especially if you're in B2B, especially if you're in B2B, LinkedIn is the place to be, and it can feel overwhelming and even lonely on LinkedIn. But there is so much opportunity when you reach your ideal customer and you reach them effectively on that platform because nobody else is. And so if you do, you win. And I don't know about you, Dean, I know you are like this. We're in business to win, not to
I like to
lose.
win. I like to win.
Dean,
Very
thank you for
cool.
that, man. I told y'all this was going to be a special episode. Told y'all that was gold. Dean, thank you, buddy.
You're welcome, man. My pleasure.
All right, everybody. We'll see y'all next week.